Here I am, in the place to be. Mr. K&B, you can't fuck with me. Extra sexy, extraordinary. Palms are hairy, your mama pop. What up, y'all? It's K&B, the Sexy Ninja, in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe. Welcome to the Sexy NinjaCast, a podcast about my loves and interests and all that. And I want to talk about my adventures with Superman, the new animated Superman show that's an anime that's on Adult Swim, but it just streams the next day on Max. And we got the first episode, well, a two-parter, if you will, Adventures of a Normal Man. I'm not a big anime person whatsoever. I'm not really into anime. I've tried stuff here and there. Of course, I like the Dragon Ball, all that, the mainstream kind of stuff that I follow. But I never really dived in and, into the world of anime. And this is that style, but it feels more Americanized, if that makes sense. Like, it's kind of like a cross between, like, it's an animation and instead of that Japanese take of anime and stuff like that, it's like a middle ground, of the show. We have Jack Quaid as Superman. We have Alice Lee as Lois Lane. We have Ishmael Saeed as Jimmy Olsen. And we have Daryl Brown as Perry White. Chris Panel is Slade. As soon as I saw his name in the credits, I was like, he is Slade. That motherfucker's awesome, man. I was like, oh my gosh. And I don't know why, but as soon as I even see Deathstroke in any shape or form, I think of Teen Titans Go to the Movies. Slade. It's so fun to say, Slade. But I was like, okay, how many times can the Superman story be told? But this take on it was really cool because it's like, this makes me think of what James Gunn's gonna do with his Superman Legacy movie. He's already cast. We're gonna have Mr. Terrific in the movie. We're gonna have Hawkgirl in the movie, and they just announced that Guy Gardner, a Green Lantern, one of my guys, is gonna be in the movie, and it's gonna be played by Nathan Fillion. Like, it's funny is I'm a huge Nathan Fillion guy. Like he's also voiced Hal Jordan in the cartoon. In one of the animations, I think it was First Flight or something like that. And when my wife texted me, like, did you see who's going to play Guy Gardner? I was like, whoa, they're going with Guy Gardner or Superman Legacy? Okay. I was like, who? She goes, your boy. I was like, who? Oh, wait, who? And I was like, and I looked it up. I was like, Nathan Fillion. I was like, yay. But why? Why is he not Hal? Why are we going with Guy? This is such a James Gunn move. It's like Nathan Fillion has been one of those guys that a lot of people in the fandom have been rooting for to be cast as Hal Jordan. And yes, he can play asshole. He can't be that type of character, arrogant and whatnot. We saw it in Guardians 3. But I was like, I've been waiting years for this man to be Hal Jordan, and all of a sudden, this is like a weird thing with James Gunn's like, you know what? It's obvious he would play Hal, but let's have him be Guy Gardner. And I'm like, okay, sure. But I still get a Green Lantern. But Mr. Terrific and Hawkgirl, Superman teaming up in this movie, I'm like, okay. I kind of like the idea of, like, let's have more characters in the movie, and that's why with this show, I feel like this is where James Gunn's going to go. Like, these guys are fresh out of college, Lois, Jimmy, and Clark, they're interns at the Daily Planet, and, we get a little bit of backstory with Clark, even though we know the ship and everything like that. But what I really like with the flashbacks, because when he first goes and interacts with the ship, Jor-El comes up, of course, and he's like speaking in Kryptonian, which I really fucking like. It wasn't English, it wasn't basic standard English of being like, son, Clark, you, I was like, when he was talking and like, Clark couldn't understand him because he couldn't understand the language of Kryptonian. And I was like, I like that. And they never really like, oh, I don't understand, because he tells him, I don't understand you. The second time he goes back and he gets his suit and everything like that, he's like, I don't understand you. I thought it was going to be like, Jor-El was going to be like, oh, hold on. English? Do we have English? Do we have English in Kryptonian in the archives, huh? No? Shit. I can't talk to my son then. But they never really resolved that, and I kind of like that. Let's keep it that way. He still has to unbury all the mysteries of his Kryptonian side and whatnot. And I really like Jimmy Olsen in this. I like the fact that they team these three together, and this Clark Kent is very young. Like, he's still learning his powers. He's got some Goku shit going on when he powers up with his eyes getting all blue and stuff like that. And that's the crazy thing about Superman. Like, Superman always keeps up gaining these different abilities, like a Super Saiyan. Like, in the comics, it's the same thing. Especially recently, he keeps gaining different side of his powers, and they keep testing him and whatnot. And then what I liked about this was, in the first episode, he doesn't have the suit. He helps save these robots from like Livewire. Leslie Willis, she's one of the main people in the first part of the episode, and Slade Wilson comes into effect in the second episode, and Slade is going to be the antagonist of this season, from what I'm gathering, working for Amanda Waller and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm down with that, because and Livewire, she stole these robots and stuff like that. And then we're seeing a lot of, like, the journalist side of, like, Clark and Lois and Jimmy, like Jimmy with his camera and stuff like that. And Jimmy's such a klutz. Like, he's taking pictures of everything. And, and Perry White's like, hey, man, you guys are interns. You get coffee. You do this. But Lois, with that ambition, she, and she sort of lies to Clark in the first episode, lies to Jimmy, tells him, like, oh, yeah, we're allowed to do this. Perry said it's great. And then when he gets a call from Perry's like, get your fucking ass back here. He looks at Lois like, you lied to me. Why'd you lie to me? Like, you didn't need to lie to me. I would have gone with you anyway, but that's his thing. That's his moral of being, who he needs to be as Superman, as Clark Kent, and I really like when he does get the suit, like, in the second episode, and he charges up. He's like, oh, wow. And his mom's like, hey, you need some underwear or something to go on with that. So she adds, and that's what I really liked about it. She adds to his suit. She's like, yeah, that Kryptonians, they can give you that, but over here on Earth, Kansas, we know style. And red shorts over that suit's gonna make you pop, son. And I love Papa Kent in this. He's just so, like, into the hip and into the now. Like, there's a part when he says something smart to Martha, and she's like, what? He's like, I'm out. Boo-boo. And he comes in when Martha's helping him with his suit, and he comes in, and she was just like, what do you think? He's like, oh, nice suit. He's one of those characters that I feel like is going to really grow, because he's like, I give a shit, but I don't give a shit, but I'm always here, son, for you. Alice Lee's Lois Lane, I really like, and you're playing with that relationship aspect of her liking, Clark, and Clark liking her, and there's a really fun moment when these two meet. Clark's getting donuts at this local shop in Metropolis, and the lady that owns it is like, oh, Clark, we love you. He fixes everything because he keeps breaking everything, because he doesn't really have a grasp on his powers yet. And she gives him a bunch of donuts. She's like, oh, yeah, this guy can eat. We even have a bib for him. And it's just this really great moment between these two, and him getting embarrassed and whatnot. And she's just like, oh, it's okay. And I like afterwards, especially after the lying to him and stuff like that. She's like, what? Clark Kent's just a good, handsome guy. And Jimmy's like, oh, you like him, don't you? Huh? She's like, no. And it plays into that anime effect with the blushing and the eyes getting small and, this and that. And it works so well with these three. And Superman, the next episode I saw doesn't drop until Friday, is called The Interview with Superman. So we're going to get an interview with them, like, we've seen before millions of times. And I'm guessing that because James Gunn said he's going for a younger Superman. He's going for a Superman that's fresh and new to the game, not Henry Cavill, moody, going off, and then, trying to figure out who he is as a man. But this is going to be a Clark that's kind of still naive, but he's still trying to do the right thing. And I was like, okay, I'll watch this Superman on the big screen, and I'll watch this Superman on the small screen. But the thing is, like, how much Superman can you do when it becomes a little bit too much, if that makes sense. It's like Batman. Like, as much as I love BVS, as artistic and stylistic as it is with seeing Martha and Thomas Wayne die, I remember being in theater like, I know his parents get killed in Crime Alley. I know they leave the theater. I know. And it's just like in The Amazing Spider-Man, when all of a sudden Uncle Ben dies, you're like, this is really his fault. He's an asshole. I know the origin. So I'm very interested of where, like, with these first two episodes, really great episodes. A lot of fun comedy. There's this group of kids in the show that are like mini reporters or whatnot. They have their own paper, and that's where Lois gets tips on where these robots are. Livewire tries to put bombs all over, but Slade comes to stop her pretty much. But Slade, they capture her, and at the end of the episode, it shows Amanda Waller with Slade and everything like that. And Task Force X, I'm guessing, is going to be a factor into this. But I'm excited to see, are we going to introduce Batman, Wonder Woman in this show? Or are we going to keep it more condensed with Slade being the main antagonist of all this? Because he's a young Slade in this. They're all young. We're new to this world. And, Superman just got his suit and everything like that. And his name is Superman. And now we got to unravel the mystery of who is Superman. So, and I already heard that they already announced they got a second season for the show. So I'm like, bring it on. And there's a whole new Batman show on the way. We got a new Batman movie, Brave and the Bold. James Gunn's whole universe is about to be open up to us. And I just saw the new Blue Beetle trailer. And I'm like, oh, this looks awesome. But man, that Flash movie's still in the back of my mind where, and this was another thing I'm laughing about. Once again, we're getting celebrities, getting some favors pulled, saying Tom Cruise had one of his friends see Blue Beetle early, and one of his friends was like, oh my God, this is the superhero movie we need. I'm like, motherfucker, y'all did this with The Flash. You brought Stephen King out. You're like, hey, Stephen, say something nice about The Flash. He's like, I don't normally watch superhero movies, but this is the best movie I've ever seen. You want to check? Okay, send. Because everybody out of the woodwork was saying, oh, The Flash is the best thing. If James Gunn's like, The Flash is my favorite movie of all time. Oh, my gosh, I love this movie. So I'm kind of seeing it again for Blue Beetle. I can't wait to see it for Aquaman, because those are the next two DC movies up. But overall, I still love my DC universe as much as it fails and, this and that. This is my universe that I love to come to. That sounds dirty. But DC's been my jam, will always be my jam on toast, man. And this show, My Adventures with Superman, I'm saying go check it out. I'm definitely going to try to keep up with the reviews as best possible with each episode. Adventures of a Normal Man, they're about 22 minutes apiece. Really, really great stuff, man. Really, really, really great stuff here. I really love the animation style. I love the comedy. I love the relationship with all these characters now. I really love what they did with Mama Kent and Papa Kent. Now we're going to expand on that more, and the fact that Slade is the main guy, I hope throughout the whole season is going to be awesome, And it makes me think, like, man, we never will get that Batfleck movie with him and Deathstroke and all the stuff that was possibilities. Now we're going to restart, and Blue Beetle's supposed to be the reintroduction of all this. Aquaman's going to be its own thing from what James Wan was saying. We still got the Batman 2. That's going to be an Elseworld thing. We still got the Penguin. There's still so much, ahead. But with the Flash flopping so hard, it's like, okay, well, now, you have to bring it on another level. And I just think, too, people are getting superhero burned out. Like my wife is. Everyone's like, okay, another superhero movie. And for me, My Adventures with Superman was on my radar just because they said they were doing it with a little bit of the anime style. I was like, okay, I want to check it out. But also, too, my back of my mind was like, man, how many times can I see a Superman origin? And I watched it and I liked it. I was like, okay, I'm in. I'm invested. You have my attention. It's just like the Harley Quinn series. I need to finish season 3, but the Harley Quinn series is a great series on HBO Max, man. It's fun. It's dirty. It's grimy. It's silly, and you get connected with everybody, especially Poison Ivy's and Harley Quinn's relationship. I would love to revisit those shows and review them just because I do love that Harley Quinn series. I really need to watch season 3, but all right, that's it. That's all. Go check out these episodes. Part 1, Part 2 is out right now. Adventures of a Normal Man, Superman trying to figure out who he is as a person and what's now going to be of this identity of the Superman. So, all right. Like and subscribe. Share with your grandma. Share with your grandpa. Share with the bum down at Walmart. I am KMB, the sexy ninja. Oh, and, oh, man. Oh, I lost breath there. Woo, getting too excited. Too excited. Too excited. Remember, the biggest key in life. Stay sexy, ninjas. Whoop, whoop.
Welcome to the wicked shit.